All right, guys, final review. Unit 3, this was all of our y equals mx plus b stuff. I remember you telling me in class that you thought this stuff was easy. Make sure that you know these formulas. You can pause the video, get them copied down real quick, but these are the formulas that I'm going to refer to when I do these problems down here, all right? So again, pause the video and copy these down so you have them, and then make sure you know which one is which. Slope, point slope, slope intercept, because that's the way it's going to be like referred to on the final, okay? I'm going to do number 4 using those formulas that I just showed you. So again, rewind if you didn't get them copied down. But here we have 2 points. And remember, this is like my first x and my first y. You know how it's always x, comma, y. But this is the first one. This is the second one. So that's how I'm going to label those. x2 and y2. Okay, so my slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm just going to plug those numbers in. What's y2? What I'm going to find is right here, it's 10. So 10. This sign right here is a minus. So I'm going to put minus. And then y1 is 6. Great. X2 is right here. It happens to be 0. I'm going to keep the minus sign, which is from the formula. And oh boy, I have a double negative because x1 is also negative. I do like to write the double negative and then remind myself that it changes to a plus positive. So don't try and do too much in your head, but 10 over 6 is 4, or 10 minus 6 is 4. 0 plus 2 is 2. That means my slope is 2. Okay, sometimes it's a fraction. Remember, this was a chapter where we had a lot of fractions. It's okay. In this case, it's just 2. Okay, therefore, do you remember the perpendicular slope? Perpendicular means opposite, reciprocal. Okay, so that means opposite sign, so that means plus changes to minus or minus changes to plus. And then you know what reciprocal means. It means flip the fraction, so flip. So if I'm going to make this into a fraction, that means that my opposite reciprocal means that it's going to change from positive to negative. And then when I flip this fraction 2 over 1, it becomes 1 over 2. These are called perpendicular slopes. Positive 2 over 1, negative 1 over 2. Remember, that means that they are perpendicular. You know what that means? They look like a T. All right. Equation of the line in point slope form. I'm actually not sure if they want me to make the line perpendicular or just regular. So I'm going to use the regular one. But point slope form looks like this. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Okay, so I do have an x1 and a y1 up here. So I'm going to plug in the negative 2 for the x1. I'm going to plug in the 6 for the y1. And the slope I'm going to use, I don't know if I'm supposed to use the regular one or the perpendicular one. On the final, it'll tell you which one to use. I'm going to use the regular one, which is 2. Okay, so I'm going to do y minus, what was the y1 again? I'm substituting this number, and this number. The y1 was up here in the problem. It was 6. That's why I think it's helpful to label. So I'm going to write 6. The slope that I'm going to use is the 2. You can put 2 over 1, or you can just write 2. And then I'm going to write x minus, what was the x value again? Oh, again, a double negative. It was minus negative 2. Yes, that changes to a plus 2. So I'm going to write y minus 6 equals, I'm going to distribute this 2. Sorry, the reason I'm doing that is because I'm seeing that the next question is slope intercept. So this is our answer for this question. But in order to get it into slope intercept, what I need to do is distribute and then combine my like terms. So when I distribute, I'm going to write y minus 6 equals, that's just this part, and distribute 2x, and 2 plus 2, or 2 times 2 is 4. And then to get y by itself, all I need to do is add the 6 over. Y equals 2x plus 10. There is my slope intercept form. So we have 4 different answers. Here's the slope. I use the slope formula. Here's the opposite reciprocal slope. That just means make the sign the opposite. So if this was negative, it would change to positive. Since it's positive, it changed to negative. And then flip the fraction. Flip it. If it's not a fraction, put it over 1 and then flip it. Okay, when you do point slope form, you have to plug in the y, the slope, and the x, which is what I did here. You don't have to have 2 pluses here. You can change that to just 1. And then in slope intercept, that just means take this equation, distribute, and then clean it up, bring the 6 over. Number 5 is exactly the same way. I will post the answers, but to save time, I'm going to go to number 6 and number 7. I want you to remember Hoy and Vux. We're going to write this on our note card, on our note sheet if you want to. Hoy stands for horizontal line, 0 slope, y equals. Vertical is the V. Undefined slope, remember that's impossible straight up in the air. A treadmill, think about trying to run straight up a wall. It's impossible, it's undefined. And x equals a number. Okay, so first of all, write the equation of the horizontal line. So horizontal is y equals, that's because there's a y in Hoy. And what's the y value here? The x is 7, the y is -3. So they're very simple for horizontal and vertical lines. It's just y equals a number, or if it's vertical, then it's x equals a number. What is its slope is the next question. The slope for a y equals horizontal line is 0. That's what the O stands for. It's flat. Think about when you hop on a treadmill and you're running horizontally, completely flat, no incline at all. The slope is 0. Same thing for vertical. So vertical is x equals a number. So I'm going to write x equals. And what's the x value over here? Don't use the y because this says x. The x is 7. And this asks me, what is the slope? Well, the slope of a vertical line is undefined. It's straight up and down. Make sure that you remember undefined. The difference between 0 and undefined. Good job.